Hare Hare Bo. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams to everybody. So we'll continue our discussion from ISOPANISAD. So let's move to the next slide. So we finished the first section where it's been taught how to live in harmony with God. And I hope things are clear and it's in your mind. And then we are today going to start a new theme or new segment of ISOPANISAD that's going to share how to develop the spiritual vision. So verse number 4 and 5 talks about that Lord has contradictory attributes, which is inconceivable and beyond our limited understanding. Very powerful. We'll get into that. And then 6-7 talks about developing an equal vision to see everything in relation to the Lord. We'll get there as well. And then finally, how to attain the Lord by developing the divine qualities. So today we'll start from verse number 4. And this verse basically talks about the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I'll translate, I'll read the verse, and then after that we'll try to see what is the essence or translation for this verse, and then we'll get into the discussion. Anijadekam manaso javiyo Nainad deva punvam purvam marshat tadadhavatvanyan ate titisthat tasmin napomatishva dadhati anijadekam manaso javiyo anijadekam manaso javiyo Nainad deva apnavan purvam arshat tadadhavato anyan ateyati tishat, ateyati, very fast, beyond our understanding. Tasminapo matarishwa dadhati. So anijad here, the anijad here refers that Lord has his own abode. So Lord has his own abode, means he is residing in Golok Vrindavan. Ekam is very simple to understand. He is the one person among all entity with no equal or superior and with a form full of knowledge. Manaso Javiyo, he is swifter than mind. Nainad Deva Apunvan Purvam Arshat, even the powerful demigod that moves quickly cannot approach him. Tadadhavato anyan ateti tisthat. Dhavato, he surpasses all other who are running, though he is situated in one place because he is all pervading. Tasmin apo matarishwa dadhati, he controls those who supply air and rain. In this particular case, it's referring to Devotee. So Lord is fixed in his abode. He is the one who is fully cognizant of everything that is happening. And he is swifter than mind. He is present everywhere, and no one is equal or greater to him, and nobody can reach him by any material endeavor, such as by running or by intellectual uh, understanding. One cannot reach to that supreme person. He is Ishvara. He is controller of everybody or everyone who is controlling on minute level. So he is the Parameshwara. So that's basically the essence of the Supreme Personality of the essence of this verse. And as I said, this verse, ISOPANISAD, in the very beginning, we understood that the real meaning of the ISOPANISAD, or literal meaning of the ISOPANISAD, is that coming close to Krishna. And how you come close to Krishna? By understanding him. Okay, so next series of verses are going to basically share some of his powerful, inconceivable quality. So I'll try to explain it to make these points clear. These are very important concept that we'll be running through in next 3 or 4 verses. So I would like to request all of you to pay due attention, and while I'm saying something, try to visualize or think that how exactly these things are happening, to conceptualize or to understand the deeper meaning. So this particular verse has 7 purport. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada has written 7 purport on this particular verse. So the first paragraph talks that absolute personality of Godhead, although fixed in Goloka, can diffuse his energy everywhere. Means he's although present in Goloka, but he's present everywhere. And then second paragraph talks about Lord has his energies. How is present? He is present through his energy. But no one can approach Lord by one's limited potency, or understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be forced to be limited because of our limited understanding. Okay, so I do not understand, or my intelligence cannot go beyond certain certain subject or certain kind of area of understanding. So I say that, okay, if I cannot go beyond that, then God cannot be beyond what I can understand. So one should not try to impose his or her limitation to make Lord limited. Okay, these things please try to, and that's what basically the mankind is doing today. In today's society, we are basically, our limitation, we are imposing on the Lord, and we are trying to make him limited. Even great Rishi and Shura, saintly person, cannot know him. Cannot know him. Okay.
Hey, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. So in regards to that, what you just said, is that like part of one of the 4 defects where our senses are imperfect? So we're imposing our imperfect senses on the Lord?
Yeah. So we have those 4 defects, and one of them is that we have imperfect senses. Yes. Okay. So that imperfection cannot be artificially imposed on Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then any other means, such as our mental speculation, or any other means that we try to understand Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's basically futile. It's not going to help, or it will not lead us to the complete understanding of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So verse number, paragraph 5 talks futility of trying to establish the identity of the Lord through the mental speculation. And then 6th paragraph talks play very carefully part designated to us by the Lord. very, very important paragraphs that Prabhupada is saying. That whatever part that is assigned to us, in a drama, everybody has certain character to play. Somebody is trying to be taking the role of Arjun, somebody is trying to take the role of Karna, Dronacharya, and Duryodhana, and all of us are playing a drama. So in that drama, in that play, whatever role one is assigned, one should play that role very carefully. What does it mean? It means that whatever degree of intelligence, whatever identity and resources Krishna has given to us, those resources should be used very, very carefully. And as a person, as a human being also, we should be very sensitive about the things that that is in our surrounding and things that we are dealing with. And then final paragraph says that all power is coming from Krishna. Okay, so these are the 7 paragraphs. And I request you, I'm not sure if you're all doing or not, but before I give this lecture, I read these paragraphs many times. Okay, so I'm hoping that, and then I take some of the essential points and try to give kind of some reference to make it more clear. But those points that I'll be talking and sharing will make sense only when, or will help you understand what I'm trying to say only when you yourself get time to read this paragraph, this purpose of Srila Prabhupada. So please try to read if you can before the class. That will be really nice. But if you are not reading before class, then after class, please try to read this paragraph. Okay, so I'll just go through some essential points, and then we'll talk more. So absolute person, absolute truth is ultimately a person. Therefore, this verse elaborately describes his personal feature, being the supreme, the fastest, the fearless, the incomprehensible, the inconceivable, the omniscient, the omnipresent, and omnipotent, and the source of all the action. Okay, so Krishna has all of these quality. He's fastest than the one who can run fast. He has no fear. He's fearless. He's beyond our comprehension. He's beyond our conceivable limits. With all of that, he's omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. With all of this quality, one has to understand, very important point, that he is a person. So if he's a person, then how he is, omnipresent and omniscient. I'm sure all of you have that understanding, but we'll talk more about that. And then some of his omnipotency, omnisciency, and omnipresence has been also mentioned, that although he is situated in one place, he can be present simultaneously at other places too. An example is given: a fire can distribute its light and heat for some distance. Similarly, the Super Lord is fixed in his transcendental abode, Goloka. He can diffuse his energy everywhere impersonally and does not lose his personal existence. And then marginal potency, Jiva, living beings, we are the marginal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Jiva, being parts of the Lord's marginal potency, have all of his symptoms, but they are all limited and are never equal to him. So marginal potency, Jiva has all of the symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's very powerful statement. That's very, and I was talking a little bit of that this morning, that living beings are very, powerful, very, potent creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But one cannot understand. So living beings have all the quality as, or has symptoms, to depict all the quality that Lord has. But that doesn't mean that one can start speculating and trying to understand Lord by mental speculation. The Lord is inconceivable and incomprehensible. The Lord is not subject to our limited capacity of understanding. Even great philosophers, sages, or demigods cannot know him by speculation or reach him by traveling through space at the speed of the wind or mind or millions of years. So one cannot reach to Krishna by any artificial means. So I just gave one line summary of the key messages coming from each paragraph, and then I'm taking some key highlights from the paragraph and trying to give some understanding. Knowing Lord, only devotee can learn about Lord from the Lord himself. So all of these things, if you put in a flow, it's basically one after another making a kind of argument that Lord is a person, he is inconceivable, he is incomprehensible. But if one wants to know Lord, then one should know Lord from Lord himself. Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavata Pranita. What is dharma? Whatever Lord is saying, that's the dharma. Krishna told who he is to Arjun. Then Arjun was able to understand who Lord is. So through a bona fide disciplic succession, we are receiving the same message. So by receiving that message, we know who is Lord. And there is no room for any mental speculation. So one has to engage in the process of bhakti to know that Supreme Personality of Godhead. And through that process, one's consciousness will start reviving, and then slowly and slowly, Chaturapana Marjanam, as heart is being cleansed, one will come to the pure stage, and then he will be able to understand Lord himself. So the main or the most important point that we can draw from this verse and the purport given by His Divine Grace is that Lord is everything, but there is no other way to know him except bhakti. That's the very simple understanding, that it's very difficult to conceive or comprehend that person, but through the process of bhakti, we can understand him. So let's little bit try to understand these things in a better way. So how Lord is present everywhere, how one can see the presence of Lord. And example Shastra gives is sun glow, sunshine, and sun energy. So plant is basically receiving the energy from sun, and plant is growing. Sun is far away from plant, but still the functionality of the plant is dependent on sun. And for plant, sun is present. Not only for the plant, there are so many activities happening in the material world. And for each action to happen, for each karya that's happening, there is a karan. And to facilitate that karan, there is a karta. So the concept of doer, karta, and karna, cause, and karya, the work itself, the effect itself, is very implicable when we try to understand how to see the presence of Lord. So this is a verse that I'm citing from second canto, sixth chapter, where it says that the Pursa Sukta prayer confirmed. That's the title of this chapter. And this is verse number 17. So the context of this verse is that Sukdev Goswami is asking, Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukdev Goswami that please tell me what is the cause of the creation, both primary cause and secondary cause. And in that discussion, when Sukdev Goswami is sharing to Parikshit Maharaj the cause of the creation, there is another discussion coming where Narad Muni is seeing Lord Brahma. So Narad Muni is saying that so far I understood that you are the creator. Everything that exists is created by you. But I see that you are doing ghor tapaha. You are doing great, severe tapasya. So who you are doing this tapasya for? Is there somebody else who is above you, who is cause of creation? Then Lord Brahma says, yes, I'm just a nimit matra. I'm really doing nothing. Everything is done by Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this verse comes, Lord Brahma is saying to Narad Muni that Swadhinashyam pratapan prano bahish pratapati yasho evam virajam pratapam tapati yantar bahi puman. So sun illuminates both internally and externally by expanding its radiation. So illumination, when sun comes, all the darkness is gone away. So sun is illuminating both internally and externally by expanding its radiation. Similarly, Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding his universal form, maintain everything in the creation, both internally and externally. Lord Brahma is saying that everything internally and externally is maintained by Lord himself. So sun has, sun as a globe has two other aspects, which is sunshine. And sunshine is compared Brahman understanding, effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the heat aspect of sun is considered as Lord energy. And Lord energy has basically, we'll see that, but in terms of creation, Tripad Vibhuti and Ekpad Vibhuti. Tripad Vibhuti, 3/4 of the creation of the Lord is a spiritual world, and 1/4 creation is material world. And all the activity that's happening either in a spiritual world or in the material world, it's happening because of the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how to see? Let me give a little another deeper understanding. So sun, so plant. Let's look at this slide. So we see here that plant is basically growing. Okay, you have a seed. Seed finally turns into a plant, and plant gives the flower. So there is growth that happening. Growth is happening to the plant. So the current Shakti for that plant to grow is sunlight. So sunlight is the current. Without sunlight, plant will not grow. The process of photosynthesis is happening because of the presence of sunlight. So karna is sunlight, and kriya The effect of that activity is growth of the plant. But who is doer? Doer is son in this particular case, or ultimately Lord. So that's how a jnani, when we talk about vidya vinaya sampanaya, one who is vidya, one who is vidwan, one who has knowledge, he can see that there is a fit, there are some activity that's happening. And for all of these activities, there are some karan. But who is doer? Who is ultimate doer? Ultimate doer is Lord himself. So even in this material world, things that's happening, it's happening because of the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's very powerful understanding. Seeing things and seeing that the real doer of that particular thing is nothing but Lord himself. So right now, me talking, Lord, because of the Lord, I'm able to talk. You all listening and being, able to come to this extent where we are talking this deep, deep shastric subject about Lord, because of the Lord. So there are so many activity happening in the material world, and it's happening because of the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like, for example, I'm in my house and I have some role to play in my house. So certain thing in the house is happening because I'm doing it. So after this class, I'll go change some bulb because some of the bulb has got fused. I'm going to change it. So that, kriya is happening because of me. So in that particular case, just to make the point, I'll be the doer. Likewise, ultimate doer is Krishna, but just to make the point clear, I'm doing something. So likewise, the functioning of the material world, things, the way it's moving, the doer is Krishna. And how he's present? As he's present for this plant to grow, as sunshine, he's giving the energy to this plant to grow. So Lord energy has three components. Okay, and then you can basically, so if you can consider, and then primary, Lord as a primary, then at the primary understanding of his energy, there will be doer, karta shakti, which is jnana shakti also, and then there will be karna shakti, which is also called karya shakti also, mode of passion, and then there will be kriya shakti, the work itself. So kriya shakti, karya shakti, and karta shakti. So primary energy of the Lord has also these three components, and secondary also has these three components. Okay, so that's how you can understand that how Lord himself is making things function, making things move. That is how a jnani, and there will be a verse coming up, how to develop the vision, right? The theme of this section, how to develop that spiritual vision. So, a person who has gone through this understanding, he will know, he will see that indeed Krishna is acting. That's why, Queen Kunti is saying that alaksham surabhutanam antar bahar avasthitam. My dear Lord, you are not visible to all living beings, but you are inside and you are outside. Okay. So this is very, very important concept of doer, karta, cause, karna or kriya, and karya itself, the work itself. And we need to have this understanding to understand how Lord is present and how he is functioning, how he is making thing, function. Is it clear what I said?
So, Prabhu, are we just the observer then? If the Lord is doing everything, is what we can understand?
Yeah, so I said, that on the primary level also these three factors are, and on secondary level also these three factors are. So for example, if we take I gave the example of sun. Sun is, so if you consider sun, if you start from sun, then sun is the karta, and karan is his sunlight, and kriya is growth of the plant. So if you start from sun, then sun is the doer. But who has created sun? Krishna is saying that the sun and moon are my eyes. So then, the ultimate creator is Krishna. So likewise, depends, are you thinking on the secondary level, primary level, tertiary level, or, fourth level? I also give the example of my house, that in my house, I might be doing some activity as a doer. But if you go from tertiary to secondary level, then, I'm not the doer. The real doer is basically prakriti kriya manani gune karmani sarvasha hankar vimudatma karta hamiti manate. Although I thought that I'm the doer, but that's not true. I'm acting because of the mode of material nature. And Krishna says, Maya dakshana prakriti sute sacharacharam. All of these things are acting under my guidance. So then primary is Krishna. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So depends where you try to understand this three energy of the Lord, and from there you go to the next level. You go to the next level. You go to the next level, and then finally, oh my gosh, Lord is doing. But what is the difference between a devotee and non-devotee? Is that if you are fully captivated by the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you cannot see beyond Guna, Prakriti Kriya Manani, Gune Karmani Sarvasya, Ahankar Vimuratma. You will have that false doership mentality if you are fully captivated by the external energy of the Lord, and then you cannot see beyond the mood. You will see, I am the doer, I am doing it. Because my Gyan Sakti, my Kriya Sakti, I'm making this thing happen. So that's the thinking of a materialistic, atheistic people. But a devotee will go to the secondary level. No. But this Krishna is saying that Maya dakshana prakriti sudha sacharacharam matapartaram anyat kasidasya dhananja. There is nothing beyond me. Bhoktaram tapsam loke maheswaram. Oh my gosh, this is all mine. So then it's Krishna. So that's how we have to understand this concept. Very powerful concept. And this type of understanding will help us understand that if something is happening in my life, why it's happening. It will help us understand the deeper spiritual vision. So I'm going to make sure that this concept is clear. If not, then let Mataji ask some questions. Likewise, if there is any doubt you have, please bring it up so that we can discuss. Is it fair to assume that it's clear to everybody?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is clear.
So, Prabhuji, the main doer is you're saying God itself.
Yeah.
But we have to try ourselves, no? So,
Yeah.
so then only God will help.
Yes.
But finally, the main doer is God Himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to understand that way.
Yeah. So we are acting under the mode of material nature based upon, we talked about that in previous class, that the material body is given to Lord to act, okay? And based upon karma, based upon swabhava, based upon type of dharma that we wanted to flow, all of the desire that we have, Prakriti give us this body. So Krishna has given us this body to fulfill the desire that we have. So mode of material nature is making us act, and that beautiful picture that you see, where a man is pulling the threads, right, and the most three women are acting. So likewise, we are basically trying to fulfill our desire. We are acting, and to perceive that desire, Krishna has equipped us with some degree of intelligence, some degree of education, some degree of beauty, name, fame. But who has given all of this to me? Oh, my body is made of Prakriti. Prakriti has given. This body is basically nothing but the composition of the material element. And who is residing in this material, in that composition? The core is nothing but made of the iron and other component. But who is driving that car? A person, a driver, soul. But soul and a material element, it's all created by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so ultimately Krishna, it doesn't mean that we should try to blame that all the bad thing that is happening Krishna is doing. Not that the way, that's not the way to understand. We have to understand that that was desire of a jiva. Okay, jiva had desire to act in a certain way. So Lord basically facilitated that. Once our desire change, that's why this spiritual vision has to develop. Because by knowing this, our desire will change. And what will be our desire now? Instead of enjoying our senses, how I can enjoy the senses of Krishna. And with that change, the revival will begin and will go back to Krishna. Kartahamiti mannate. This false doership has to wiped out by having the proper spiritual understanding.
Prabhuji, did you explain Tripada Vibhuti and Ekapada Vibhuti, or did I miss it?
Tripada Vibhuti is basically the spiritual world.
Oh.
Three-fourth creation, I talked about that. And Ekpada Vibhuti is 1/4 of the creation is the material world. So both Tripada Vibhuti and Ekpada Vibhuti is energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And all of them have this three aspect, and all of them are functioning as per the guidance of Lord. And Lord is present, everywhere. Without his sanction, nothing is happening. Clear? This is very important. Okay. So
Yes.
so then there is discussion about this three energy. Rasa Shakti, Antaranga Shakti, and Bahiranga Shakti. So living beings, what is the living beings status? What type of energy we are? Marginal potency. Jiva is the marginal potency. So Jiva may decide to stay always intact with Maya Shakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and go through these kleshas. Okay. But Jiva, as a Tata Shakti, can decide to go and become the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there, eternally enjoy. There is no fear. Vaikuntha. This is a place where there is no fear. And these are the three elements of the internal energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But I don't want to talk about that. But what I'm trying to make the point here is that Lord, through his energy, is functioning either in the spiritual world or in the material world. Clear?
I like this slide, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, it's a nice slide.
Okay. So then this verse in the part Srila Prabhupada is talking about futility of trying to establish Lord's position. Okay, so there is a speculative method to understand Lord, and then there is a bona fide method. Okay, so I would like to spend some time to understand what are some of the speculative methods about the Lord. Like there is no Lord, there is no Bhagwan, right? right? This is very common, right? Right? The people who say that there is no
Yes,
Lord,
Yes,
the people
Prabhu.
who say that there is no Lord, there is no Bhagwan, can they understand this aspect that we just taught? That even plant is not growing without the presence of Krishna. Do they understand this part? No, they don't know that. They're not aware. They have their speculative idea. But very technically, we just proven here that everything is functioning and acting without because of the presence of Lord. So there is no Lord. That is a speculative, mental speculation. What are other speculation? Can somebody say? Please say something. I mean, this topic is immense. I mean, if this one, when I was thinking, what are the things I should present here to make this point clear? I thought, I mean, I can keep on talking on this one like, hours and hours. Then so I thought it's better, to instead of talking me hours and hours and putting my points, I would try to understand what understanding you have. So what is the speculative understanding about the Lord?
So one understanding is this whole material energy is created by just the combination of elements.
Yes. So accidental creation. Yes.
Yeah.
Or accidental. Material world is accidental, right? Yeah. Give me some more. Everybody, please. Yes.
So, I am the doer. I'm the doer.
Yeah, I'm the doer. Doership mentality. Yes.
The evolution theory, Prabhu, Darwin's evolution theory.
Yeah, that we have come from
Amoeba.
Darwin evolution.
Also, we're born once and we die once and that's it.
Yeah.
We're not eternal.
Yes. Yes. Soul. There is no soul.
Yep.
Or concept of
Rebirth.
eternity. Yeah, like cycle of birth and death is basically concept of eternity. Okay. Yeah, this see how many beautiful points. Okay, what is next? Anything else?
We are this body.
We are this body. Yes. Yeah. This is very good.
And so I don't, I was raised Catholic. So in the Catholic Christian tradition, they don't allow being cremated because they say that you need your body for the afterlife. Isn't that silly?
Yeah, and I also heard that some of the rich people, they have paid I don't know, too much money to keep their body because they can come back again and enjoy the same body. Right? Is it true?
Yeah. People have their head frozen to do that.
Okay. So what else?
There's no karma.
There is no karma. There is no reaction. There is no reaction of our action. Yes. Yes, beautiful. Who else would like to share? Any more point? That's good. Appreciate that. Anything else? I need one more point to fill up this area.
I am the enjoyer.
Yeah, I'm the enjoyer. Yeah, sense gratification, okay? Enjoy senses. Sense gratification. So these are some of there could be, thousands of the stuff that we can talk in how the speculations are around about Lord and, our position in reference to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so what is some of the bona fide approach about the Lord position?
Spiritual master. Spiritual master or
yeah, so bona fide methods. What are some of the this is about, establishing the position of the Lord. So we have
Bhakti yoga.
So for example, Lord is a person, okay?
So Lord is everywhere.
Huh?
Lord is everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
Lord
there
is
is no
person.
Lord, Lord is everywhere.
Yeah, he is omni. He's omni. Like this kind of thing I'm looking at. Omni
Consciousness.
present. So I'm looking for things like that.
He's the
which,
super soul. He's the super soul. We are parts and parcels.
he is soul of all the living being, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He's the controller.
Right. He controls.
He's a proprietor.
Right. Plus proprietor, Iswara. I mean Iswara and
Maintainer.
right, Iswara and Bhokta. BHOKT. Yeah. What else? Sorry, this is ABCD. It's okay. My mistake. What else, devotees?
He is the complete whole.
He is the
Complete
soul.
whole.
Yeah. Verse,
Beautiful.
the invocation prayer.
Mhm. Purnamid. Yeah.
Okay. So Ishvara Bhokta. So let's use the word Atmaram, okay? Because he does not need anybody for his happiness, right?
Yes.
So that's the point we're trying to say. Lord is Atmaram. Atmaramasya Munyo.
He's the
He's Satchidananda Swarupa, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, so Satchidananda, Lord has, yeah. So what I'm looking at here is that how they translate about the Lord's understanding. So Lord is a person, he's omnipresent, he's soul of all living being. So it says something in, as it you were talking, you were defining the Lord's position.
He's the source of
Exactly.
everything.
Huh?
He's the source of everything.
Yeah. Karan of all he's cause of all the causes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
And
looking
also
something
the
like that.
source.
Yes. He is cause of all causes. Good. What else? Aparna Mata, you said something?
Can we say he's inconceivable, Prabhu? Not able
Yeah,
of.
he cannot be conceived. What exactly you mean by that? He cannot be conceived. Can you define a little bit more?
Like we cannot imagine, right, Prabhu, his power and everything, like mentally.
So what is the bona fide way to conceive him? So how
Omnipotent.
that will fit into this profile? You have
He's
to,
omnipotent.
he is omnipotent, yes. Iswara is there. He is Parameshwara. Yes, same thing that you were saying, that can be said in a way that will fit here. So he's inconceivable. You know what is that thing? Adhokhaje, have you heard that statement, Mataji?
Adokshaja.
Yeah, Krishna cannot be perceived with our senses. Yeah, so Lord is, I don't know how to clearly write Adhokhaja, but I'll try. Adho, A-D-O-K, S-A-J. Forgive me for that one, but I think Adhoksaje, Saja, something like that, Saje. I'll have to look at that one. Yeah, but you said right. So that's what it is, Lord cannot be perceived by our limited senses. He's beyond, and nobody said he is absolute. What does it mean is that anything that's associated to him is none different than him, right? Like his name of Lord Krishna, is it different from Krishna?
No.
No,
Huh?
it's the same.
How about prasadam?
It's also the same.
Yeah, how about his paraphernalia?
The same.
How about his
Non-different.
Archa Vigraha?
Wow, same Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Wonderful,
So,
wonderful.
absolute, he is absolute. Means
Non-different from
means
his form.
he's Rupa, Guna, name,
Form.
form, quality,
Pastimes.
paraphernalia, right? Rupa, guna, name, form, quality, paraphernalia, pastimes, right?
He's,
All of, yes, Mataji.
he's Rishikesha, master
Yeah,
from the senses.
yeah, beyond the senses. Yeah, you can write here too. Rishikesha.
Achyuta also.
Yeah, he never falls. So likewise, these are the bona fide understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So people who are trying to understand Lord, in a speculative way, the red area, they would never understand Lord. They will keep on doing life after life, but they will never reach to the Lord. But the one who will try to understand Krishna in a bona fide way, then that person will be able to slowly and slowly revive their forgotten consciousness and understand Lord. So what is the source of the bona fide understanding of the Lord?
Lord himself.
Huh?
So Lord himself.
Scriptures, right, Prabhu? All the scriptures and acharyas.
Yeah. So give me in a very poetic way. What is that?
Guru Shastra, sir.
Yes. Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. So Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu, when we say Shastra, we are talking about all the bona fide Shastra. Okay. So Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. And what is the source of this speculative method? Can somebody tell?
There is no source.
Right.
Avidya.
Huh?
Avidya.
Yeah, but what sources do they use?
They use their own sources.
Mental
Yeah, so
concoction.
They
Mental
use,
speculation.
they
Mental
use
concoction.
Nyaya Shastra.
Oh,
They
Oh.
use, they will use
Logic
Tarka
and
Shastra.
Google Prabhu.
Right. So Nyaya Shastra, they will use Tarka Shastra. What else do they use? Likewise, some other unauthorized, logical or other type of things they use to understand Lord. Okay. So they will never understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Moving to the next slide. Then how to reach the Lord? How one can reach to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The last segment of the paragraph, Srila Prabhupada is talking about how one can reach to Lord himself. So yogi, by a speed of mind, can they reach Lord? Can yogi reach the Lord?
no, Prabhu.
Golok Vrindavan, no, they cannot. Or karmic, by their material intelligence, can they reach the Lord? Prabhupada, wrote a book when they said that, all the scientists are going to moon. Prabhupada wrote a book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. It's not possible to go to other planets. Easy journey, don't make the easy journey. So who can reach to the Lord? Advaitam Achyutam
Devotee.
Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Nayonam Cha Vedesu Durlabham Madurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindam Adi Purusham Stapam Bhajani. My dear Lord, you are Advaitam. Nobody is like you. Achyutam, you never fall. Anadim, you are the beginning. Ananta, you are the end. You have Ananta Rupa. Adyam Purana, nobody is older than you. You are the oldest most. Now you Namcha, still you are young. Never you get old than 16 years. Vedesu Durlabham, you cannot be obtained. The Veda, the Vedic understanding cannot reach one to you. Adurlabham Atma Bhakta. But you are easily available to Atma Bhakta, your devotee. You are Adurlabham Atma Bhakta. You are easily approachable to your devotee. Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. My dear Lord, please accept my humble obeisances. I am always in your in your menial service. So the essence is that by understanding, we should not get lost into omnipresency and omnipotency and all of these other inconceivable and incomprehensible attributes of the Lord, but draw it to the conclusion that all of that is conceivable through the process of bhakti. And in the process of bhakti, the realized knowledge comes. And through that realized knowledge, which you might not be able to express, you might not be able to explain by your experience and word, but you have that understanding. We all have been into the process of bhakti. Somebody will ask me or you to leave it. Can you leave it? Although they will give you $1 million and tell you that, I'm giving you $1 million. You have to not do anything related to Krishna consciousness in this world. Although in 15 years, there is not material transaction that has happened between you and Krishna. But there has been a spiritual transaction in terms of realized knowledge. And that knowledge, which is purifying our heart, elevating our consciousness, and taking us to the higher understanding. Day by day, we understand one or two features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Today's topic that we discussed, I hope you understood it, the concept that I was trying to drive, and it will help you to see things and make us more serious. The essence of everything is that little bit, if we can be more serious than how we are, little bit, a more seriousness we can have towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that is the result of all this PowerPoint presentation and all the talking and all this hard work that has been going on. Little bit move, slowly and slowly we move. So every day, bit by bit, step by step, we have to move ourselves. Something that I did yesterday, I did not like doing it. It was not Krishna conscious. Let's drop that and do something new today. Slowly and slowly move towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that will happen only when we develop the right understanding and have the right vision. Okay, it's 301. I would like to take 1 or 2 questions and try to discuss that. So please feel free to ask. Do not hesitate. Let's have some discussion for 5-6 minutes and then we'll be done. Thank you. Thank you all for joining today. So can we have some discussion? Any questions, any doubts based upon the discussion that we had? Ramkishore Prabhu, you have anything?
No, I don't have any questions. It was a very nice class. Thank you,
Do you have
Prabhu.
any realization, anything that you would like to share? Based upon the discussion that we had today?
Yeah, I mean, the more we discuss the, as everything being Krishna, I think, and then you meditate upon that, and when you go out, I had an experience. I've been having an experience lately where I'm going into the office 3 days a week, and with driving into work and even driving home, the sunrise and the sunset, and it's very emotional now being a devotee versus before, because I'm starting to see the beauty of Krishna